welcome to Toffee TV. It is the play ratings. Liverpool 2, Everton 0. Disappointing. Felt more than disappointing night at Anfield. But I've just been out before I get into the ratings. I just wanted to. I just seen a few things on Twitter there. And to be honest, I never really read the comments on here before when I did my other video, so I'm not sure what people were saying. I was trying to stay away from the comments as much as possible. But I was just reading Twitter, just off a couple of my tweets that I'd written. And this is just me, right? And I think people who watch this or watch me know that if I say something, I pretty much mean it. Like, I'm not saying it. I don't say things for effect, right? I've been an Evertonian for a very, very long time. And, like, I've seen people say things like, Berry's made up, they got beat, so he can moan about it, right? And all these kind of things, which, fine, they come from dickheads who haven't got a clue about the channel or about, like, you know, anything to do with us being Evertonians or whatever. But one thing that baffled me about some of the comments is, to me, that performance tonight was embarrassing, right? Now, that's fine if you have a different performance, a different view on it. But the reason why it was utterly embarrassing to me was because of the players didn't give 100%. It's as simple as that. The players did not give 100% tonight, as far as I'm concerned. They looked massively disjointed. They were all over the place. There didn't really seem to be much of a game plan. I couldn't see a game plan. I don't know if anyone else could see a game plan. And from where I'm sitting as an Evertonian and where we are in the Premier League, this idea that just because it's Liverpool and just because we aren't expected to beat them, and just because we took 3 points off Arsenal, somehow excuses players not giving 100%. Now, if people genuinely believe they give 100%, fine. But when people say it's not embarrassing that they give 100%, then I am completely baffled. I am completely baffled by the situation. What do fans want? What do they expect? People want Everton to be better. So why don't people want it to be better then? If you want Everton to be better, why don't your expectations and why aren't your standards higher? I do not understand that. And listen, I've got no issue calling out some of our fans who've got that, and because they don't seem to have a problem calling me out. But why aren't people's standards like up here? Why don't people expect the minimum requirements, which is given 100%? Why aren't people's requirements that players, you know, fight for every ball and every tackle and everything on the pitch? Why do people let players get away with things just because we beat Arsenal, or, well, we've got 3 more points than I expected to do? Why is that the mentality of the football club? And if that is the mentality of the football club, then there's no hope for us. There is absolutely nothing down for us if that's the expectation of our fan base, that it's okay to not give 100%. Because it was the Merseyside derby and we haven't won one for ages, we never win them. So what? I said on my last video that I sat here last year and we got beat 2-0, but I had a little bit of pride that we'd gone out and fought in the game. Tonight, I'm sitting here thinking that was a fucking shit show. That was shambolic. That to me is what we've been doing recently. And that's, by the way, I'm not putting the blame on Sean Dyche for that. I'm putting the blame on that for the players. Like, I don't quite understand what we were trying to do, but I don't understand that. I don't understand why anyone would go, oh, that's fine. Now on to Saturday. Like, Saturday's not going to be... Why is Saturday somehow different? So it's fine not to give it 100% tonight, but you expect them to give it 100% on Saturday. Why? Where does that come from? Where does that mentality come from? I do not understand that for 1 minute. And I don't get how some fans let people off and go, oh, like, don't get me wrong, you don't have to get personal, you don't have to start pointing fingers at people going, you're crap, you're crap, you're crap. Leave that to me. But I don't get that. Like, tonight, basically every single player, we're awful. We're awful. Every single player. And yet you're told, it was the Merseyside derby, and look what you're up against. And it's like our fans find excuses sometimes. Like, I don't get it. I just don't get that at all. And it's certainly not the way I think about football. My minimum requirement is 100%, and if they're not given 100%, then to me they're a disgrace, because they're a professional footballer. And if you can't go on the pitch and give it 100% like they did against Arsenal, then what is the point? What is the point? Like, it's a free hit. No, it's not a free hit. It's not a free hit, is it? It's not a free hit because there's 3 points on offer there. And go out and get a level of performance that if the opposition beat you because they're better than you, fine. But if they beat you because you laid down in the mud, then, like, why don't some fans have accountability? Why don't they have accountability and go, that is a disgrace? Oh, but you can't say that, you'll hurt someone's feelings. I'm sure Sean Dyche will be hurting a lot of feelings. I just don't get that. I don't really want to labour on the point, but I just don't get why, as some people in our fan base feel like that's acceptable. And anyone who calls and says, well, it's not acceptable, is somehow negative, or oh, look, you're already having a go with Sean Dyche. I'm not having a go with Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche has been working with them for a week, 2 weeks, sorry. I'm not having a go with him. You know, he's got what he's got. He's got no striker. He's got to put a kid in who's barely touched the ball in the Premier League. Still barely touched the ball in the Premier League. And he's dealt the hand he's got, the cards he's got. But I just don't get it. I don't get why fans would go, oh, it's fine. That to me is so weird. So weird that people think like that. Oh, don't say nothing nasty about them. Got a big game on Saturday. It's like, well, they had a big game tonight. where were they? Liverpool are not exactly flying, are they? You know, Liverpool, I'm not saying Liverpool were there for the taking, but Liverpool were tonight the most fragile they've been for a while. Maybe if Everton had got stuck in a little bit, that might have unnerved the fans and the crowd, but the fans and the team were allowed to settle into the game quite nicely and started playing good football because they remembered they were good players. I just find it baffling. I find it absolutely baffling that fans think like that. I really do. But hey ho, there you go. Let's get into the player ratings. Jordan Pickford, massive mistake for the goal, first goal. Apart from that, was all right, but obviously that's a huge moment in the game. How that's happened, I don't know. And it was such a glaring. Don't get me. It was like 3 against 1, but that's such a glaring mistake to let that to be. There's a fella there, mate. Why are you going over there? Like, I don't quite understand that at all. Dead weird. And if he hadn't done that, he probably would have had would have been a decent performance for him, all things considered. Very strange. Very strange. Yeah, I've given Jordan Pickford a 3 simply for that mistake. Seamus Coleman, tough night for Seamus. They targeted him from the off. They really did. They targeted him from the off. Everybody sort of knew they were going to target him from the off. They put pace up against him and he really struggled, to be honest. He struggled on both sides, to be fair. But he really did struggle, and you could see him just didn't know when to put the foot in or not to put the foot in. Just not a great night for him. I've given him a 4. And on the other side, Michalenko struggled massively against Salah struggled massively against Salah tonight. And just got pretty much done every time Salah had them. And yeah, it wasn't a great night. He's done well against them in the past, but tonight he just got destroyed by him, if I'm quite honest. So I've given him a 3. Tarkowski, probably his worst game for a while, even though he's not been great that much recently. He started off well, and then it started to unravel a little bit, and he started getting frustrated and giving stupid fouls away. And I think Tarkowski is one of those people you can get under his skin a little bit, if you do the right thing. And I just think he struggled tonight. He got dragged out of position, and towards the end he was a bit like, there was a couple of decent challenges he made. I think we made one from Salah late on to put the ball over, but he looked a little bit ragged tonight, to be honest. I've given him a 5. Connor Cody, what on earth he's doing for the second goal, I've no idea. Apparently he didn't know he was there, but if you don't know he's there, then don't take the chance. The ball's going across your goal. Just put your foot through it. He looked ragged tonight. And the problem with the whole back four, there's no pace in it. There's no pace in the back four at all. So I think, you look at the goal, the first goal. Players trying to get back from a corner. There was other times when they allowed us to step up, and then they let us set up, sprung the trap, and then tried to get in behind us. They're too slow. They need to get Godfrey in that back four, and that to me would be one of the ideal scenario would be Patterson coming in at right back and Godfrey coming in at left back. For me personally, I've said this before. People may disagree. That's up to you. I think you need Godfrey's pace in the back four personally. I don't think Mykolenko is good enough. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I just don't think he's good enough. That's my opinion. I think if you're looking for good players, then I just don't think he's good enough. And that's what it's all about. It's about putting better players in your team. Prove your chances of winning games of football. Some people disagree. Some people agree. That's up to you. That's what I would say. There's not enough pace in that back four for me. There's just not enough pace in it, and it doesn't allow us to get up the field. So Connor Cody, I've given a 4. Garner defensively, his numbers are quite good for tonight. Tackles and stuff like that. Interceptions, but he's given the ball away 9 times. And when he gives the ball away, in areas where the opponents have got a free run on our defence. And it's something he didn't do against Arsenal because he just didn't have the ball. He got it and give it, and that was it. And again, that's that thing of like, the way your team plays, we don't want to be playing out the back. We don't want to be playing into Garner because we want to be playing it into the forward. But if you haven't got a forward who can hold the ball up, it dictates the whole way you play. And I think, again, we've seen that a bit tonight. Garner, as I said, his tackles and his interceptions are good, but he gives the ball away far too many times. So if you look at his numbers from a defensive, they look good, they look strong. But if the amount of times he gives the ball away to them, that's the problem, and that has been the problem all season. Like last week, he was just nipping in, getting the ball, giving it, and moving. Tonight, he was caught too much on the ball. And the midfield look completely different today. Didn't they just look completely different? So I've given Garner a 5. Onana, again, couldn't really get into the game, couldn't really stretch his legs. Again, I thought Liverpool done a really good job in midfield tonight, the way they controlled it, all that experience. Again, you bring in someone like Fabinho back and Jordan Henderson, seen it all and done it all and know how it all fits together. And our midfield and the components that make it just didn't quite. Last week, I think they were just allowed to do that job, defensive job, winning high, play it forward. Tonight, it was so sloppy in there because they had almost too much of the ball. And again, I've given 9 out of 5. And Decore, yeah, it was nowhere near as good as he was last week. And just, again, it was niggly. He'd win the ball, then he'd lose the ball. And yeah, I've given him a 5, to be honest, as well. Attacking players. Alex Iwobi. Again, his numbers aren't terrible. If you look at his numbers in terms of attacking, they're not terrible, but where's he playing? You know, is he hurting them? No. Is he getting the ball in the right areas? Not really. Put a decent ball in towards the end for that Tom Davies miss. But is he really hurting the opposition? And the answer's no. So, you know, he hasn't really done anything. I've given him a 5. Dwight McNeil, again, played well against Arsenal. I thought he was pretty poor tonight, to be honest. You know, again, it's that thing of trying to get the ball on his left foot, and then, you know, good defenders will make it difficult for you. They know you want to take it on your left foot, and they know you can't go anywhere else. So they just blocked the left side of you. They blocked the left hand side of you. I'm not sure what he was doing when the ball hit the post and come back to him. I just don't know why he didn't just smash it straight back at goal. He's just not good. He's not good enough. He's like Michalenko. He's not good enough. But you look at the squad and say who's really making it difficult for him. No one. I'll give him a 4. Ellis Sims. He won quite a few headers tonight. I think the problem is, though, it's fine winning headers, but if number one, who you're heading it to, are the rest of your team pushing up. Number 2, are the centre backs are letting you win the ball in the air because they know there's no one up there. He needs to learn how to hold the ball up, not just, you know, flick the ball up or whatever, flick the ball on. He needs to learn how to hold the ball up, make it stick. That is the most important thing a centre forward who plays up on his own can do, and he just didn't do that tonight. And that's something I understand. I understand the rationale of playing him. He's a big lad, occupied the 2 centre backs, hopefully force a mistake. There was a couple of times he got in the channels and did all right, but what can you do from there? What can you do? Can you hold the ball up and bring the rest of the team into the game? And then once the team realise that you can do that, there'll be a bit more bravery coming through. You know, I seen someone on before saying something like to me on Twitter, well, what did Dom do last week? Well, what he did was he gave us a platform to play off, and then the players felt braver pushing on because they knew he held the ball up. It wasn't just coming back, and he's got to get better at that. And he's not. The thing about it is, though, he traditionally doesn't do that. His numbers at Sunderland don't suggest he's that kind of player. So they're going to have to work on him now, week after week after week, if he's going to stay in this team. And that might be a case of that's why he played, because the manager might look at it and go, well, he'll play every week. He'll play every week, and we'll teach him how to do that. And he'll have learned from tonight, because, you know, he's only played once, and it was like in the Chelsea game where he did exactly the same job. And I do feel sorry for him, but he's got to learn how to do it. He's not a child. He's 22 years of age. He's got to learn how to do that side of the game. It's great going. He's just a kid. How old's Haaland? You know, how old's Nunes for them? There's not much difference. He's got to learn how to play that side of the game if he wants to stay in the team. There's an opportunity. Listen, Dom could be out for weeks for all we know. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he could be out for a month. And if he came back, how long would he be back for? The tactics of Sean Dyche do not suit someone like Neil Maupay. They just don't. And other than bringing in a free transfer, we've got what we've got. And that's due to the inept board that we have. So, to me, he's going to have to learn that side of the game, holding the ball, keeping hold of it, bringing other people into play. You know, I'd be working him. And I'm not saying he has to turn into a goal machine. I'm talking about the basics. I'm talking about the absolute basics of hold-up play, which you'll see players doing in the Championship and in League One. You know, people make an art of this. This is what teams are built around. So he's got to get better. I've given him a 5 for tonight. It was a thankless task, and I thought he was going to go off half time. Sorry, but I think the manager probably just thought to give you 10 more minutes just to see how it goes, and then obviously we conceded in that time. But that's something they're going to have to work on because just throwing the ball up to him, it ain't going to work. I don't think his close control is good enough for him to get the ball down on the deck and try and take people on. I'm not sure he's got the composure. Of course, you're only going to learn that from experience, or whether you've naturally got it. So they have to be working on him now to get him up to that kind of level. But he's certainly not that kind of striker, and that's what I was trying to emphasise before this game, is that he's not that kind. He's not that kind of player. So yeah, tough night for him now. He'll learn from the experience, and he knows that. He's got the rest of the season, hasn't he? You know, he's going to be out of the starting games or coming off the bench, I imagine. So he's going to have to start, getting a grip of that for our sake. The subs, none of them really made a huge difference. Maupay, Gray, Tom Davis. I mean, the only one who stood out was Tom Davis for that header. Did he even header it or did it him on the shoulder? I've given them all 3. They just didn't offer anything in the game at all. There you go. Disappointing result. Disappointing performance more than anything. I wasn't really expecting anything tonight, but I was expecting a hard-working performance to match with what they'd done against Arsenal, and they didn't. We didn't do that, and I'll be honest, that's the most disappointing part of the night. Not getting beat. I don't ever expect to go to Anfield and win or get anything, if I'm perfectly honest. But I do expect some kind of performance. I do expect players to work hard. I do expect us to match the levels of the opposition in terms of work rate. And if that doesn't happen, you're going to get beat. It's as simple as that. Liverpool have got too many good players to not outwork them. You have to outwork them. It's as simple as that, and that's what annoyed me about tonight, is that too many people didn't work hard enough, or none of them worked hard enough, and we looked all over the place. And as I said, this is not Liverpool in an amazing form, is it? This is Liverpool that we could have got at them tonight if we'd really been up for it, and we weren't, and we wilted, and ultimately we just ended up looking like we'd bottled the game, and like we couldn't wait to get off after an hour we looked like we couldn't wait to get off the pitch, and that's what was sad tonight. There was we looked like we had one tactic, and it was basically set pieces, and if that's what it's going to be, then it's going to be a long 3 months. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Mine are the only videos tonight because there's Astro's got a video. There's Astro's video as well. Baz is on holiday and just isn't doing videos because he's on holiday. Fair play to him. He's on holiday, so fair play to him. Good luck to him. So there you go. I'll be doing the final word tomorrow. Make sure you check that out over on Toffee TV Premier. The link is in the description, and the QR code is coming up now. If you have not signed up but you wish to, you should do. Lots of brilliant content over there, including daily live shows. So thanks for watching. See you later.